Hello, it is Rachel, and in my most recent podcast episode, I talked about a strategy that I call a when-then statement that is really helpful if you are someone who tends to lose your cool in certain situations and you'd like to be able to handle it better. So in the podcast episode, I go a little bit deeper into what a when-then statement is and how to create an effective one. But for now, I will simply tell you that a when-then statement is where you think about a situation that normally triggers you, where you lose your cool, and you decide ahead of time how you are going to handle it. So it would be something like, when my child is being disrespectful, then I will blank, and you fill in the blank. Or when my kids are fighting with each other, then I will blank. And instead of doing what you normally do, you're going to decide your new action. Now, there are a couple of reasons it's important to decide your action ahead of time. The first isn't going to surprise you. When you are frustrated with your children, with their behavior, with their moods, or with their attitudes, when you're annoyed with them, your brain senses this frustration and this annoyance, these big feelings. It senses this is a problem, so it turns on your fight or flight response. And when your fight or flight response kicks in, it shuts off the part of your brain where your values live. It also shuts off the part of your brain that helps you regulate your emotions. So when you are feeling these feelings in the moment, you're probably not handling the situation very effectively. You are controlled by your emotions. Now, when you decide ahead of time what your behavior is going to be, then you can almost go around your fight or flight response and take action that is aligned with your values because you've decided ahead of time, when you can access the values-based part of your brain, how you are going to handle it. The other benefit of deciding ahead of time is that you feel more in control. You know how to handle this situation, and honestly, your reaction becomes a little bit more predictable, which actually helps your child as well. So it's a really good idea to decide ahead of time. Now, I want to give you an example of a when-then statement that one of the parents that I support came up with, because I think this is a really great example. So she created a when-then statement based on what she called the sit and zip. So her daughter is someone who is anxious and worries a lot. And she found that the way she used to react was she would try to fix the situation or cheer her daughter up. That didn't go very well. So what she decided, she said, when my child is worried or anxious, then I will sit down next to her and zip my lips and listen. So her when-then statement was, when my child is anxious, I will sit and zip my lips. That reminded her then how to handle that situation, and it went so much better because she knew what to do and her daughter knew what was going to happen. Now, when I first do approach this concept of when-thens, a lot of parents will say, but Rachel, I don't have time to sit down and come up with an action. I'm busy. I have things going on all day. Who has time for something like this? And what I would say to you, if you're thinking that as well, is how much time does it take to resolve the situation now that normally triggers you? So if you are losing your cool, how much time does it take to get through that situation with your child, whether it's the power struggle or the, negotiating, whatever it is, how much time does that take? And I would encourage you to do an exercise that takes about 3 minutes. And that is really where I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. Very simply, the first one is, what is the situation where I normally lose my cool? And the second question you want to ask yourself is, how would I like to handle this situation? What would make me feel good? If I took this action, I'd be proud of how I handled it as a parent. Answer those 2 questions and you will have your when-then statement. And really easily, you can do this while you're also doing other things. Come up with your when-then statement while you're falling asleep at night, while you're taking a shower or folding laundry. This actually doesn't take that much extra attention, but it will save you a tremendous amount of time. So if you do want more information about when-then statements, I encourage you to head on over to my latest podcast episode. You can find it on my website, rachel-bailey.com/78. I'll be back again soon with more tips for you.